Yo, what's up guys, welcome back. So finally the OCG list is dropped, has been dropped a couple of moments ago. Let's take a look. Haven't seen the list yet, but it's up on the Yugioh organization website, and as you know, this will be the list for the new Master Rule 2020/Master Rule 5 OCG limit regulations, right? So yeah, pretty much the same. Well, we might assume most of these changes might also be implemented for the TCG as well. A quick glimpse to the OCG format before we go into the list. I mean, this is the most recent metagame breakdown from Road of the King. Haven't done these in a while, but again, we are just waiting on the new OCG Banlist and Master Rule 2020. Super diverse, but you know, Red Eyes Dragon, Orcus, Sky Striker, Spiral, and so on. So without further ado, let's go. I haven't seen the list yet, but I think we can assume that Jhin is going to get hit, right? As you know, Jhin is still legal in the OCG. Let's take a look. I think it's most expected this list will be a huge list, considering we'll be, well, the OCG is going to enter the new Master Rules. So let's take a look. Forbidden. Yeah, there it is. Jhin, Releaser of Rituals. It has been banned in the TCG for, you know, like a huge amount of years. But finally, the OCG following, and well, yeah, I don't need to explain this, right? It's definitely a ban-worthy card. Let's continue. Guard Dragon LP. Okay, that's an interesting one. I mean, with Guard Dragons, as you saw, Dragon Link was is still a very potential list, as in the TCG. Even though Agarpain is banned, the small Rocket Bullet Ride deck is still quite strong, and both Link monsters, one of them being LP, definitely helps out with that particular deck. So finally, the OCG hitting the second piece of the Guard Dragon engine, or a second piece being LP. And I feel the TCG might follow with this as well. Let's continue. We see IP. Okay, yeah, this is the synchro, right? Yeah, so the OCG basically following what the TCG has, right? But I think Danglong is still at 3 in the OCG, while we in the TCG don't have Danglong. So them hitting IP, well, I think it's justified, I guess, because it does so much. It extends, and especially now going into the new Master Rule, the card is so much more powerful. Kind of a creepy card going into the new Master Rule format. So OCG following the TCG this time. That's it. Okay, so 3 cards being banned. No Dragon, no Red Eyes. Well, the Dark Magician Dragon Fusion, straight from the top of my from my head. But okay, let's continue. So limited ABC Dragon Buster. Okay. I mean, if we saw the breakdown, let's take a look. I mean, we're not seeing ABCs, right? But then again, going into the new Master Rule format, ABC, the strategy of using the Exceeds, etc. with Bujin Tsukuyomi, the good old school way of running ABCs back in 2016, if I'm not mistaken, is of course, or can be quite frightening. So maybe them preemptively hitting ABC Dragon Buster in the OCG might tell us that ABCs might get hit in the TCG as well. Interesting one. Not really sure. We have ABC, we have the Union Carrier, the new Link, but then again, that's not giving ABCs that big of a boost, right? So interesting hits, something that I personally would not have expected. Let's continue. Galatea. Well, yeah, okay, we don't see Dingirsu here. I'm not really sure how heavy Orcus is hit in the OCG, but we saw that Orcus is definitely still one of the top decks in the OCG, so then limiting Galatea is, well, we are definitely going to see this in the TCG. Or might see this then again. Well, Orcus is heavily hit on our TCG ban list, and it has been squeezing into some top spots at the YCS most recently, but it's lacking power. So again, not really sure how heavy well, Orcus might get hit, even though the deck is stronger, I guess, going into the new Master Rule format. Harp Horror Limited, well, yeah, it's banned in the TCG, and we saw that Orcus from past breakdowns in the OCG was the best deck, quickly followed by Dragon hybrids, and with Dragon hybrids I mean the fusion, right, the Dark Magician fusion, and even though like a lot of decks were main decking that one. So Harp Horror, yeah, that's understandable since the TCG banned that one. Junk Speeder, that's an interesting one. As soon as Master Rule 2020 was revealed, we like a lot of speculation, synchro decks were going to be overpowered, broken, and a card like Junk Speeder would just be so ridiculous of getting out those multiple monsters. So then limiting this card, it's an interesting one, but I personally was not really fearing those Junk Speeder decks, right? Even though, and let's see how Maxi is going to end up being, if it's going to be untouched. And again, OCG still has Maxi at 3. So Junk Speeder, interesting. Makura, okay, Makura, but yeah, it's in blue, so I had a glimpse on Facebook that 2 cards were going to get an errata, one of them being Makura, and I believe that it's going to be once per turn, activate like 1 trap directly from your hand once per turn, so it's not unlimited like it was before, and that's something I've read like moments ago before this list was released. We see Quick Fix, yeah. I mean, Quick Fix, the Spirals was basically at full force in the OCG, and it still wasn't like the best deck, but it's nonetheless a very strong deck still. So OCG hitting or preemptive, well, no, just hitting, limiting Quick Fix is definitely solid, right? Let's move along. We see Carrier. Why them some Mighty Carrier? Or Carriers and Mighty. So the Exceed, the rank 3 Exceed. This is something that I feel we finally, if there is a moment Konami giving back some wind-up pieces, then this should be the moment. Exceeds are going to be very strong again, a solid option again going into the new Master Rule format. So Konami releasing some of the wind-up support, and mainly Carrier Zen Mighty, their rank 3 is yeah, we might see this as well in the TCG. Interesting run, but I don't think it will make that big of an impact. Wind-Up Magician Limited, interesting one, but again, strange pick. Are they really fearing wind-ups that much, right? I don't know. I mean, we haven't seen it that well, of course, with the new Master Rule 4, I guess, but not really sure if preemptively hitting wind-ups this hard was needed. I might be wrong though. Okay, here it is, Dragon of Red Eyes. Okay, getting limited. So the Dragon Link is still a potential option with, you know, the Predator Plant Link, I mean, and using the Red Eyes fusion, right, but only 1 Dragon of Red Eyes. So, okay, that's understandable, not immediately hitting the card, but just limiting it, still giving those decks an option to risk of main decking those multiple, well, a Dark Magician, right, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, so you're main decking those bricks, but at like a huge, well, like payoff, I guess. So that's a good one. This might be also one for the TCG when we actually get Dragon of Red Eyes. TG Hyper Librarian, yeah, same for Junk Speeder, those synchro decks. Hyper Librarian at 1 seems just fine for now. Cyberstein back to 1, I guess it's cool. I believe it was at 3 in the OCG, it's currently at 1 in the TCG as well. So I don't see any big threats just yet, even though going into a new Master Rule format. So Cyberstein at 1, I feel is fine, but for now, I don't see any abuse just yet. Trishula, yeah, same, well, they're just basically returning to the old format from a couple of years ago, Tango Plant format, I guess with like 1 Trishula, 1 Librarian, so then preemptively hitting those synchro decks, and for a good reason. Nobody wants to deal with triple Trishula spam featuring decks like Infernities maybe. Let's move along. Oh, speaking of the Predator Plant for the Anaconda, there it is, the Predator Plant Link monster going to 1, definitely one of the stronger cards released past couple of months, and then it's definitely speaking of like Link monsters, so very splashable card, strong card, and only being able to get out 1 copy because it's so versatile and so hard to deal with, right? It's okay, definitely understandable, but we are going to get that one on the TCG as well, so this might happen as well after that. Scorpio, okay, Scorpio, that's, well, okay, I guess, but okay, maybe a bit understandable since, again, it pumps out those big fields, but again, let's continue. Totally awesome, okay, interesting one. Is this going to, yeah, it might, I mean, looking at a deck like Paleozoics, Frogs in general, Exceed, yeah, they're hitting like synchros and exceed decks, again for a good reason. Those two like deck orient, well, like decks, I guess, are definitely still strong or getting stronger in the new Master Rule mechanic. So again, Konami preemptively hitting the exceed oriented decks with totally awesome 2-1. Understandable, but this card might come back off. Let's continue. Link Cross. Yeah, Link Cross is such a ridiculous, I believe it's the card that produces tokens, right? I think so. It's a card that's like being used in any degenerate combo, so I'm not really sure. It might even be ban worthy, but I don't have enough knowledge about this card just yet. I have used it a couple of times to just generate tokens, if I'm correctly about the name, but I think so. But okay. That's cool. And there it is, the second one. Yeah, Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon is also, I think, being errata that I believe it's now you're forced to use it upon its summon, I think. I'm not really sure about this. Might update it when I'm editing the video. And I also believe it's restricted to once per turn. But again, I'm not 100% sure about this. Instant Fusion, there it is. Yes. Going into the new Master Rule mechanic, it was so sure that Instant Fusion will not, won't survive to 3 or will not stay at 3. And yeah, I can definitely agree, right? We see Trickstar Light Stage 2-1. Well, okay, same for TCG. A Brilliant Fusion 2-1. Okay, that's cool. We see Union Hanger as well. Really? Does ABC need to be hit that hard? Okay, Union Hanger, Red Eyes Fusion, there it is. Man, this is a huge list. Let's move a little bit quickly, more quickly. Gateway of the 6. Okay, it was a 3, but I think so, yeah. But again, 6 hands weren't really doing anything, maybe because of the Master Rule 4 mechanic, but again, it doesn't really feel like a threat just yet. Semi-limited, Malicious, Dragonnet. Okay, yeah, Malicious, again, we saw this coming, I guess. Dragonnet as well. Danger Jackalope, yeah, okay, TCG as well. Nessie only at 2, might follow as well in the TCG with being at 1. The only danger monster, Symbol of Heritage, okay, the monster reborn for like plants. Unlimited, let's take a look. Trickstar Candina, yeah, okay, Light Stage is at 1, so the Trickstar engine is somewhat hit. Ash Blossom, okay, yeah, right, Ash Blossom was at 2 in the OCG, but now at 3, yeah, rightfully so, I guess. So, okay, no Maxi. Okay, so Maxi is still at 3, we see Baby Ceratosaurus, okay, yeah, Dinosaur still going strong, especially with the new Jewel Beast. Necros of Unicorn, okay, so Jin is banned, but finally Necros getting back all of those pieces. I believe Necros is almost at full force with triple Unicorn. Interesting to see how that is going to impact the new Master Rule mechanic. Lady Debug, so following the TCG, I guess. And that's it. Okay. I expected, if I'm honest, like a bigger list. Some direct hits to synchro decks, some decks that I definitely did not expect, like ABCs, maybe a too big of a hit to that particular deck. We see yeah, the Dragon of Red Eyes being hit to 1, same for the Red Eyes Fusion. So are you still going to risk that being main deck, since you definitely won't have your Red Eyes Fusion in your deck? So that's a risk that people might want to still take, but not really sure. This indeed might have been a good hit for those particular decks, or answer those Red Eyes Dragon decks. But outside of that, we saw that Orcust was popular in the OCG, and okay, they got like a couple of huge hits. It might still be viable, but you know, going into the new Master Rule mechanic, the format seems a bit wide open, and if we take a look at the metagame breakdown, I mean, Sky Strikers, we see Orcust, we see Invoked hybrids, Invoked still feels quite strong. Spirals got somewhat of a hit with only 1 quick fix, and yeah, Elderly as well, interesting one, how the new zombie archetype is going to impact the OCG format also. So, interesting list, but let's just wait out the TCG, and I feel the TCG one might be bigger, but who knows. Okay. Guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.